Hi guys, welcome to CYC. Today, the little bit of chaos I want to look at is the difference between honesty and trust. Now, I know everyone's going to say that to have trust, you need to have honesty. But for today, for this video, I want you to try and separate the two out. Do a thought experiment. Imagine someone who you trust 100%. It would break their character to betray you in any way, whether that is in a relationship or it's money or it's just your reputation or like whatever else. It's not who they are. But you recognize that they have a bit of an ego, that they want to protect how people look at them. It's like keeping up appearances sort of thing. Like they lie about how much they exercise, how much they earn, what they did over the weekend, these small little things. Or on the other side, you have someone who you don't necessarily trust, whether again that is infidelity or money or relation or reputation, any of those things. But if anything ever does happen to affect you, that will affect you, that they tell you, that you 100% trust that they will always be honest. If you ask, okay. So out of those two, which do you pick? Now I've asked all of my friends this. This is actually one of my favorite questions to ask people because I love the answers. There's always a great conversation to be had around this. And a lot of people do go for trust. But I go for honesty. And so do many other people, of course. But I'm going to explain why. And this isn't really a relationship sort of advice video. This is a philosophical sort of video. Just priorities. Of course, you always want both. Why not? Be greedy. But on a philosophical level, which is more important if you really had to choose? And I say honesty. And the reason is that people change. People grow and you want them to grow. I don't know who you'll be in 10 years. I can roughly estimate it. I can say give or take around here. But there's no way I know 100% who you're going to be. So I can only trust that you will be honest with me along the way, and therefore I will always know where we are in relation to each other. I think. Okay, and the reason I want to make this point isn't just to be philosophical and all the rest. It's because it's actually really important. And on a real world level, this is really important. When your friends, when your family, when your partner comes to you with a betrayal of some sort, with some sort of problem or excuse or explanation or whatever else, they're coming to you and they're saying, hey, by the way, this happened and I'm really sorry, or this happened and it's all because of this, or whatever else. Even if they're doing it badly and they're defensive about it and all the rest, I think it's really important to acknowledge the honesty first, that the problem is being brought to you. It didn't come from somewhere else. You're not the one bringing it up. It's being brought to you, even if they're doing it badly. And then you can tackle the trust, the betrayal, whatever else second. Because if you do it the other way around, it's a lot more toxic. So that's number one. That's really important. And I think then secondly, as a kind of knock-on effect, it also affects how you treat yourself. Because you have to be honest with yourself. If you want to grow, you want to change, you want to do whatever, you want to set goals, you want to push yourself, you have to be honest with yourself. You do not want an ego. You do not want to be the guy keeping up appearances and pretending that they are still something, even though... me pretending that I'm some sort of influencer because I do videos. I can easily imagine someone doing this and having an ego around that. And I'm not saying I don't have an ego, but it's just not around the videos. And that is problematic. Because every time you have a win, you're not recognizing the win, because you're not recognizing where you actually are. When you have a win and something works right, it's basically just bringing you up to where you already thought you were. And you just don't get that you don't get the good feeling. You don't learn the lesson. You don't say it's more a sense of relief than it is of joy or pride. It's just today I proved that I was that. Whew, thank God, people won't find out. Whew. Does that make sense? And especially like now, we're in January, it's coming like middle of the month, whatever. If anyone has set New Year's resolutions, soon enough you're going to be coming up to the point where they're going to start failing, or they're going to, like, you're going to hit, like, rubber will hit the road. The kind of new project juices will start to kind of burn out, and it will either become part of your routine or it will fall off by the wayside. And that process is very difficult if you are not acknowledging every day you fail. If your New Year's resolution was to run 3, 5, 10 miles every day or something, 10 to be high. But either way, run a mile every day. If that was your thing, that was your New Year's resolution, and you failed, or like, as in, you didn't do it on a day, and then you're like, yeah, but I've done it for the last 2 weeks, and I'll just do double tomorrow, and I'll do whatever else, and you're making excuses, and you're pretending it didn't happen, and you're just trying to protect the ego, you're trying to protect the identity of someone who runs every day, or something like that. And that doesn't work, because you don't see the problem then, as in, you won't recognize the pattern. It's like, if you were to zoom out and you ran every day, and then you just noticed that there was like these odd blips, these odd days where you just didn't run for whatever reason. If you zoom out after like 2 months, you will recognize a pattern. Maybe it's because you ate crap the day before. Maybe it's because you have those like calls with like a parent once every 2 weeks, and just the day after you're just like, I don't give a shit. Like, hopefully you've a better relationship than that, but we've all watched movies. So there's a pattern. You will recognize the pattern, but you have to recognize the failure first. That's the second part. So the first part is you won't recognize the success. You won't recognize when you're getting better, the improvement, because you think you're already there, and it's just not giving you those good vibes, good feelings. And then the second thing is that when you fail, you're never going to recognize the pattern, because you're just going to be too busy trying to protect the identity, because you want to trust that that's who you are. Like, I trust that I will run every day because I made that promise to myself, and I'm not someone who breaks promises and all the rest. Grant. But if you actually want to make the change, honesty has to come first. That's all I want to say. That is it for today's video. I hope you got something from that. As I said, I do like this conversation, but like, let me know. I don't know if it translates into video. So let me know what you think. I'll see you again next Tuesday. Bye guys.